sense. I have my pronunciation guide. Here we go. The elevator kept going down and down beneath the earth. Inside was a short man in a suit who seemed a bit scared, and two sunglasses-wearing soldiers on either side of him wearing bulletproof vests and wheeling state-of-the-art carbines. There was nothing to identify the troops' nationality or affiliation. Even their guns were the latest model from a famous manufacturer, which wasn't yet used by official militaries. All of this made it easy to guess that they were either personally hired soldiers or mercenaries of some sort. However, there was nothing unrefined about the elevator or their behavior or attire, and there wasn't even a speck of dust to be seen, much less trash lying about. It was almost painfully refined, and the man in the suit seemed to be overwhelmed by it. Eventually, after descending for several minutes, the elevator finally stopped. When the door opened with a faint swoosh, it revealed a massive, dimly lit space behind it. It was lifeless, tasteless, and simple without any sort of decoration. However, it also had a noble feeling, as if it hadn't deigned to conform to changing modes of decorations throughout the eras. In that massive space were two shadows that appeared to be girls. However, something about them seemed odd. For example, the objects seemed to be attached to their arms were definitely gauntlets. As the girls' expressionless eyes slowly turned to face the man in the elevator, they quietly held out their right arms. There, with the scattering of angel feathers, two oversized 76mm 62 caliber super rapid cannons designed for warships were summoned into existence. These clearly weren't weapons that one individual was supposed to use against another. It was almost as though they summoned giant metal beasts so big that one had to look up to see them, and it looked like their tamers were just about to order them to strike. The man let out a small cry and flinched at this greeting, but the cannons weren't pointing at him. They were aimed behind him, at the two soldiers who had brought him here. The soldiers had not been given permission to take even one step out of the elevator into this space. They were aware of this, so they pushed the other man in the back, telling him to go on alone. After the man left the elevator quivering, the door shut with a faint sound, and it disappeared into the darkness. When only the suited man was left, the girls raised the cannons they summoned. "Where is this place? Did you two call me in here?" The two girls didn't answer. Oh wait, hold on, There's a car, because they feel like they need to zoom by in the middle of the suburbs. So let's reread the line. The girls didn't answer. On the contrary, they were completely expressionless, as if they hadn't even noticed the man talking to them. Then the man, who was quivering even more than ever, was finally answered by a voice. "Welcome, Doctor, to our research center." A woman in a lab coat walked out of the darkness and greeted the man. The man, who hadn't been able to communicate with anyone else since coming here, was so relieved that he broke out into a cold sweat. However, that expression of relief changed to shock when the woman finished walking out of the shadows. Oops, sorry. I kind of put my mic in the way, so it's kind of hard to always read. However, that expression of relief changed to shock when the woman finished walking out of the shadows. "No, that's not possible. I mean, you're..." Activating facial recognition software. Identifying. The man opened a Cellcom facial recognition app. A Cellcom is like a smartphone or personal computer that exists in your brain. In this era, it was easy to take things you saw with your naked eye and save them as images or look them up on the net. Complete. First possible match, 97%, Verdrissig, physicist. Okay, hold on, let me check if I got that right. No, my bad. Verdrissig, physicist. Bio. A young genius physicist from ABN, Germany, who invented the spiritium high-efficiency energy conversion technique, also known as the Dreisig conversion. She's also awarded the Bernhard Prize in Physics for this achievement. However, on December 9th, the day before the ceremony, she disappeared from the hotel in Oslo where she was staying. 2 days later, on December 11th, a roasted body was found in a city trash incinerator. It was later confirmed to be Dreisig herself. Oh, hey! Wow, people who've read Higurashi. Oh, look, Higurashi parallels, because, of course, if you know anything about Ryukishio 7, he always loves to reuse old things. The investigation team eventually concluded that she got drunk, accidentally went to the collection hatch of the automated trash collector, failed to respond to repeated warnings, and was then thrown into an incinerator and killed in a tragic accident. However, because of Dreisig's accomplishments and various conspiracy theories, many are still convinced that she was assassinated by someone. Are you looking me up with your cell, Tom? I see. It looks like the Oslo City Police made a mistake. But it's strange. This year you should be. But you still look like you're... Come now, Doctor. This is a world of those who are not human. We've already been free from the concept of time, which makes people age. Since it was coming from a genius physicist, he couldn't tell if it was true or if she was trying to confuse him. He only knew that a genius physicist who had supposedly died mysteriously was alive and had appeared in front of him looking just like she had back then. After that, the man started asking questions about Dreisig's research. In this era, even an empty-handed human could search for information with their cellcom at will. It wouldn't be impossible to mimic someone else if he really wanted to. However, searching for information was completely different from understanding it. After all, asking several questions, the man had to admit that this woman in front of him was either Vera Dreisig herself, or at least a genius scientist on that same level. People who seemed to be scientists in lab coats occasionally appeared in this bleak, dim space. The man casually tried to use facial recognition on all of them. Okay, I don't know how to say this name. I thought I did the... I think I was tired and I forgot to do the research. My bad. And now we're stuck like this. Abrikosov. I'm gonna see how to pronounce. I'm gonna assume Vitali is Vitali. And... yeah, give me a moment. Don't make fun of me, okay? I'm gonna look it up. My bad. Oh, I can't hear it. Oh, okay. First possible match, 98%. Vitaly Abrikosov, physicist. First possible match. Oh, shit, I don't know how to pronounce this one! I'm gonna have to edit all of my little flubs like this. Okay, hold on. I don't know how to say this name either. I'm guessing it's Wilczek? Let's see if I'm right. I could be wrong, so... okay, whatever. Okay. First possible match, 96%. David Wilczek, physicist. First possible match, 97%. Ogawa Sei, physicist. What on earth? Just by face matching the few people walking by, he was building up a list of young physicists representing the entire world. And all of them had vanished after mysterious disappearances or accidents. It's true that some conspiracy theorists have amused themselves with a string of famous genius physicists who have mysteriously disappeared or died over the past few decades. What on earth? What on earth? So, you're all alive? No, it's probably fair to say that we're dead. After all, none of the people here have any ties to the surface anymore. Compared to the joy of attaining ultimate wisdom, well, fame, family, and children mean nothing. All the genius scientists who had just walked by were incredibly enthusiastic for their ages, almost like kids who were planning some sort of prank. Rather than charming, it was a little disturbing, as though the ideals that dominated this space were completely different from the real world. And I see that you too are the sort of person who longs to join our side, even if it means abandoning everything you've gained on the surface. Indeed. If I'm able to touch just a bit of God's wisdom, I don't care if I have to sacrifice all my wealth and fame to do it. It's all a lie, and all scientists feel like saying at least once when they're drunk. And in fact, he had said this whenever he got the chance. He never imagined that someone would actually respond to that call like this. This is a research institution, but we don't call it research. We call it translation. Translation? If the techniques of the gods were written down in the language of the gods, do you think mere humans would be able to read it? I see. So you call it translation. When you make a discovery, no matter how ground-shaking and ingenious it is, it won't be any use unless the average person can understand it. In other words, without the power of translation, all ingenious discoveries get treated the same as the occults. Genius scientists have a desire to make discoveries, but they also have a desire to translate discoveries made by people far more ingenious than them. This desire is held only by the few who are hailed as geniuses. Because they are geniuses, they're saddened by the fact that they'll never meet an even greater genius. They want to touch the sparks of inspiration from far greater geniuses to translate them. They don't want to be called geniuses. They want to touch the wisdom of people they would call geniuses. In this place, several miraculous techniques that we can't even understand are waiting to be translated. What kinds of miraculous techniques? If you truly join us as a comrade, I'll show you. You aren't about to tell me that it's super high technology from some ancient unknown civilization or something, right? Would there ever be some sort of problem if that were the case? The man attempted to joke casually, trying to make it seem as though he had grown comfortable with this situation. However, a clearly disappointed expression rose to Vieira's face. Whether it's super high technology from an ancient civilization, or alien technology, or Akashic record built into the fabric of reality, can the source of wisdom ever be a problem? No. All of our comrades here simply view the attainment of ultimate wisdom as their greatest joy. They don't mind putting their wealth, fame, and even their lives on the line for the sake of that joy. You feel the same, don't you? Isn't that right, Doctor? This really was a world of people who were not human, just as she said. Yes, everyone here is dead. They have already died in our world. Does that make this the underworld dismally far beneath the ground? If I've been invited here while I still live. Maybe they thought we were arguing while those gauntlet girls were staring at us through the darkness. You've repeatedly said through your Kizuna that you wouldn't mind losing your life if you could touch the wisdom of the gods, yes. And your achievements more than qualify you to be welcomed in as our comrade. It seems strange to me. When I was first invited here, I was ecstatic like a maiden in love for the first time. However, you've been fairly lukewarm for a while now. No! I haven't yet been able to appreciate how amazing this place is. In the first place, I haven't even had a chance to see this wisdom you're talking about. This wisdom is so captivating that it made so many genius scientists abandon everything on the surface. Unless you show me, I won't be able to take this all in. We're not supposed to show anyone who hasn't sworn to become our comrade. But if it means we'll be able to gain your rare talent, I suppose I could show you before you make your oath. Okay. However, Veer brought her lips to the man's ear. Her breath didn't carry the warmth of the living. It was the breath of the land of the dead, of the bottom of the earth. Before that, I want you to tell us about those people we love and respect so much. What do you mean? You know, those people. Come on. I mean the ones who are always giving you their support. Tell me about the three kings who ordered you to investigate this place. Crap. I need to ask them for help. Error.
Cellcom OS has encountered a fatal error, Playo. We recommend that you reinstall, Playo. Otherwise, please visit the help desk at Cellcom shop near you, Playo.
What happened all of a sudden? Did it bug out? No! I love welcoming in guests. I love getting to share the moment of trembling excitement felt by our true newly awakened comrades. We sometimes get minions sent by those three like you, but nearly everyone learned the joy of touching wisdom and converted over to our side, becoming our comrades. Stop trying to ask them for help, Doctor. I want to hear your own heartfelt words. Will you become our comrade or not? I couldn't bear to see one of your talent waste away on the surface, ignorant of the joy of touching wisdom. Understand? Then there was a shriek, and a cackling voice suddenly rang out. It was one of the scientists that had walked past them, the genius physicist from AOU, Japan, Ogawa Sei. He was facing the empty darkness, cackling on his own. He also came here as an agent of the Three Kings at first. However, when he learned the joy of touching wisdom, he decided to become our comrade and abandon everything on the surface. The mysterious laugh didn't seem like it could possibly belong to someone that the gentlemanly attitude had been known for. It was as though everything that wasn't necessary for this translation job she had mentioned had been ripped out of him. For the first time, the visitor deeply regretted accepting this task out of a faint curiosity, as if it had been some sort of strange spy game. He suddenly realized that there were about 7 or 8 of those inhuman gauntlet girls nearby, forming a large circle around him.
Jaden is currently intercepting with CIWS cannon, Playo. Interception rate 60%, Playo. Meow is now summoning a missile dispenser, Playo. Meow has begun its attack drone and name, Playo. Jaden is now summoning high maneuverability guided missiles, Playo. That's our Meow. What an efficient checkmate, Meow.
He noticed that Jaden's missile interception was taking too long, so he made a second and third move without hesitation. He finished his prep by summoning an automated weapon, and now he's gonna hit him with everything he's got. Wake me up when it's my turn. Jaden's Reaper Eye has targeted drone unnamed, boyo. Wait. Oops.
Jaden's Reaper Eye has targeted unnamed drone, Playo. Meow is summoning cluster-style high maneuverability guided missiles, Playo. This is the end, Playo. Kettle.
And that's the match. The drone's a decoy, Meow Meow. He totally got taken in by Meow's pattern, Meow. Damn, am I not gonna make it? This is the end. A splendid barrage of cluster missiles. Sorry. The sound of the street distracted me. Let's try again. Okay. I swear to God. I'm gonna wait until I stop hearing it because it's making me irritated. Alright. A splendid barrage of cluster missiles. I don't know. I feel like I don't like the new method. I feel like I don't like the new... what is it called? I feel like I don't like the new thing that Ryukishi did to change the way that the reading looks and how the text is on the screen. I personally don't like how it's set up, but that's just my preference. But anyway, let's continue. A splendid barrage of cluster missiles that match the automated attack by the missile dispenser. If you get swallowed by that saturation bombardment, it's over.
And that's the match, Poyo! Jayden hit by 19 high maneuverability missiles, Poyo! Verdict down, Poyo! Meow wins, Poyo! Congrats, congrats, kiddo! Please wait for our appraisal from the AI Command Center, Poyo!
Good work, you two. Lilia, Koshika, you're up next.
Roger, Meow!
Gonna take a stim. Give me a sec. The Gauntlet Knights were constantly undergoing strict training. However, none of the adult instructors who taught them could use gauntlets. For that reason, their teachings would sometimes include armchair reasoning that would put too much focus on the wrong things. The only way to make up for that was, as you might expect, to self-train with other Gauntlet Knights you knew well. By now, mutual training with other members of the first generation of Gauntlet Knights was a more effective means of skill building than their official training. In fact, even fighter pilots who had advanced far from 2 dimensions to 3 dimensions for the first time ever had honed their abilities by self-training among their first generation. Now, the same thing probably applies to all skill sets. The first generation was no textbooks or instructors. Only a desire for self-improvement and mutual training could lead them to the higher... What? To the highest. My bad. Let's try that again. This is what happens when I'm trying to read it. Only a desire for self-improvement and mutual training could lead them higher. My bad. Okay, let's continue. After that, mock battles combining all sorts of situations continued to take place in the simulator room. That data was precisely analyzed by Meow, their unofficial lecturer, and issues were pointed out to all present. Of course, the others also analyzed Meow and pointed out his issues. All this data also made public to their newbie Gauntlet Knights underclassmen, furthering the improvement of their techniques. In the cafeteria where young Gauntlet Knights gathered, Warcat and Grave Mole were having a review meeting for their most recent... What the heck? Okay. In the cafeteria where young Gauntlet Knights gathered, Warcat and Grave Mole were having a review meeting for their most What the hell? In the cafeteria where the young Gauntlet Knights gathered, Warcat and Grave Mole were having a review meeting for their most recent self-training session, which doubled as Mitake Meow lecture. Crowds of underclassmen had gathered, hoping to learn something from this critique of the Aces training. However, at a glance, it didn't look like a review meeting. It just looked like everyone was stuffing their faces at a dessert buffet. This was because of a trait peculiar to Gauntlet Knights, a desire to eat way too many sweets after training. The Gauntlet's energy source was spiritium throughout the atmosphere, but it couldn't be used directly. It only became usable energy through a dry state conversion that made use of the brain filter. When that happened, it put a great strain on the brain, using up a large amount of glucose. However, considering the massive amount of energy conversion gave them, this was a very small price to pay. For that reason, all of them were desperate to eat sweets after training. The Gauntlet Knight only cafeteria had a vast dessert menu and was popular with Gauntlet girls too, so their review meetings always took place while they ate and drank sweet things.
Nipa! Look how big my dessert parfait is, Meow!
Where's the plum jelly?
It's all gone, Meow. I thought you'd want some, so I took every last drop, Meow.
Then I think I'll gouge out your eyeballs instead.
Go ahead and do it if you think you can, Meow.
Please be quiet, you two! We're still having our review meeting! Next, look at Gunhill's movement data, in particular between Flag A and Flag B. She does a magnificent spiral keeping her speed. I don't like the feeling of pressure that anti-G HMS gives you, so I try to avoid ricochet flight whenever possible. Gauntlet Knights can move in many ways that would be impossible for a fighter plane, but that's because of your internal HMS reduces your Gs. However, the more impossible your movements are, the more energy is expended. In the worst case scenario, it can leave you open for an instant when you aren't expecting it. So when you don't need to move in dramatic ways, you should avoid fighting gravity as much as possible. When doing that, the buildup of knowledge of fighter pilots can be extremely useful. Underclassmen, make sure you don't slack off in your studies either. The underclassmen gave a big nod, taking notes. Maybe it's amusing that, even in an era where you can control sight and sound at will inside your brain, young people still took notes. Of course, if you got a mental monitor and a mental tablet, you can also take mental notes. However, there was still a strong superstition that moving your hand to write things down made it easier to remember, and a lot of youngsters followed it. Apparently, though, they were actually doing this because taking mental notes made it look like you weren't paying attention, so they wrote things down with their hands to make it clear to onlookers that they were taking this seriously. That's probably because of old guys from the old era had a bad habit of assuming people weren't paying attention if they didn't see everyone's taking notes. On the other hand, Jayden's style of fighting is more infantry-like, making use of obstructions and the lay of the land. Goblin Knights can instantly turn a battlefield from an aerial fight to a land fight and back again. Unless you regularly practice all types of fighting, you won't be able to use your weapons, no matter how many you have. If we're going to go there, you seamlessly change your fighting style, whether it's a land fight or an aerial fight, in a city or in the skies. Look at your movement around the flag I just set. You're nothing less than beautiful. Nice work, Meow! Yeah. Thanks. It's about time for questions. Please ask whatever you'd like. The underclassmen eagerly raised their hands. They all wanted to fly freely through the sky as soon as possible, just like the aces. It was hardly surprising. This was flying through the sky unaided like a bird. Who hasn't had that dream at least once? However, though the dream had failed to come true for thousands of years, it was finally possible in this era, and these people were just a step away from reaching it. Jayden remembered how he had felt at that time. Come to think of it, didn't Meow himself fly in the simulator on the day of the Battlestar Festival to remember that beginner's enthusiasm? Guess it's important to remember that passion every now and then. After piling a bunch of sweet items of the dessert buffet on my plate, I sat down next to Meow. You're right, Meow. Every now and then we gotta remember that simply flying through the sky is fun. When you look at these kids in the eye and those memories come back, it's so refreshing. Oh, it looks like you've got quite a file going there too, Meow. You always make your toppings look so pretty. I just do whatever since it's all going into my stomach anyway, but you got a good artistic sense for these things. I've got my usual cornflakes covered in chocolate and sugar and honey. Then you pour ice cream all over and cover it with nuts. It's all mixed up like pig slop. What's wrong? Why are you staring at me? Got a stomachache? Meow was staring, apparently irritated by something. Did I do something to put him off? If that's true, he's the kind of guy who would say so as a reflex. I'd never seen him just stare at me. I'd never seen him just stare at me scornfully like this.
Meow has sent you Lumidaire from a mock battle, Poyo.
Meow has sent you about. I know what's coming. Okay. Meow has sent you Lumidaire from the mock
battle, Poyo.
Okay, I'm sorry. What? You haven't lectured me enough? Oh, or are you gonna have me compliment me because you realize I did something smart? In the mock battle just now, actually, in all of your mock battles lately, compared to the data from our previous mock battles, there's been a change in your tendencies. Hey, why don't you just say it with your mouth? Shut up. My mouth is busy eating. Okay, I get it. Then I'll let my mouth focus on eating too. When they were face to face, they tended to speak mentally only when it was something tough to hear, like a warning or something you'd only actually say because you're friends. So, Jayden tensed up. So, what kind of change have you seen in my fighting tendencies? My scores aren't bad, right? If anything, they're slowly getting higher, aren't they? I'll admit that, and I've got no complaints. It's just, well... What is it? Come on, say it. We're friends, aren't we? Lately, you've been creeping me out. Huh? What did you say? Before, you were a lot more brutal when you fought. You did things you could never do in a real fight. Things that were obviously just you screwing around. I'm just holding off on that since you keep getting mad at me and telling me not to fight that way. In the past, I'm pretty sure you found it funny when I got mad and just acted even worse. Well, enough about that. Set it aside. What's creeping me out is stuff like... What happened just now, for instance? What? If you got a problem, then spit it out! Like how you said whether it's a land fight or an aerial fight, you're nothing less than beautiful. Nice work, Meow. What the heck was that? How the hell is that creepy? If anything, you're being creepy. If you got a problem, tell me directly with your mouth. As a side note, post lover quarrels in this era with a man freaking out and saying, if you got a problem, tell me directly with your mouth. Okay, then I'll say it with my mouth. Of course, this is always the second line of such quarrels. What is it you said when you saw me eating this? Oh, it looks like you've got a pile going there too, Meow, and so on. You've got a good artistic sense for these things. Nope, 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 nope. No, you would have never said that. True enough, old Jaden always teased Meow and called him a kid when he saw something like that. However, Meow had noticed a clear change in the way Jaden had been acting toward him. And after we finished training, whenever I was worn out, you say I was practically thin. Oh wait, and after we finished training, whenever I was worn out, you'd say I was pathetically thin and tell me to bulk up more, right? But now what do? What did you do today? Hey, nice work, Meow. You're covered in sweat. Want to use my towel? Hey, your sweat smells pretty good. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. I'm trying not to laugh. Hey, your sweat... Ew, what the fuck, Jaden? Hey, your sweat smells pretty good. You're doing great considering how slim you are, but don't overdo it, okay? You can rely on me whenever you need to, got it? Oh my god. That's just normal bonding between guys, right? And anyway, we're partners. I won't deny it, and I know you're my partner. But, well, you've got a bit too overboard lately. Why? Hold on. But, well, you've got a bit overboard lately. Like, it's weird the way that you, touch me. You're getting too close, and you're grossing me out. Jump on my shoulders, and don't sniff me, and don't mess with my hair. Hey, don't say that with your mouth. People will misunderstand. I thought you were the one who wanted me to talk with my mouth! Meow leapt to his feet, slammed his tray down at the return gate, and tried to leave. Jaden returned his tray too, and chased after him. Oh, it's rare for those two to argue out loud. I don't really get it, but I'll just go ahead and report this to Yadala Shabbat. Oh. I don't really get it, but I'll just go ahead and report this to Yelada Shabbat. I'm getting a bit more used to this, okay? To the pronunciations. Unless I'm wrong, but oh well. Hey, wait, Meow! Jeez, you're just adorable. I told you you're creeping me out! What are you pouting for? It's not like I'm making fun of you, okay? It's just a term of endearment, right? I told you! You're creeping me out! I may be your partner, but I'm not your bride or your girlfriend, your sister, or your pet! Wah! See, you got so excited you tripped. Are you okay? I told you, don't cling to me like it's totally normal, okay? Let go! If you brush me off like that, it just makes me want to creep you out even more. What are you doing with your fingers? Here. What is he doing? What? Stop that! It tickles! Are your shoulders being a bit stiff? Stop! Stop that! It tickles! It tickles! Your back must be really stiff, Meow. Let's see, is this your weak spot? The instant he pressed his fist into the back of Meow's shoulder blade, the latter let out a strange voice he had never heard before, arching backwards and twitching. Meow was looking up at Jaden with a flushed expression, breathing heavily. Stop it, Jaden! My back really is sensitive. Huh? Meow, is that you? In the next instant, she shook her head, and there was Meow's face, still bright red but enraged. Get your hands off me! Ooh. Bah! The three kings have decided. We command the lords. Prepare for the harvest festival. King of Fury. Honestly though, hard to relate whenever like I'm annoyed, and then I start getting mad. Alright, let's go through the third row. ABN, the Abrahamic Brother Nations, also known as Europe Middle East Alliance. Using the end of the World War III as a turning point, the three religions that once stood in opposition succeeded in historic reconciliation. The result was this newly born religious nation group. They're extremely respectful of religious traditions and precepts, and for the sake of protecting religious freedom, slander against other religions is strictly prohibited. The religious police who oversee this are famous for being incredibly strict. They claim to be a beautiful, reverent nation group that respects precept, tradition, and religious art. For that reason, they pity other factions and work to expand their influence and evangelize. Oh, I like that pink one. It's really cute. I bet it's from Yellow Dot Shavit. Because of the level of religious police as authorities, other factions think of it as a police state without freedom of speech. Well. Okay, let's see. Thara. Okay, so Thalatha. Oh! So Thalatha. Okay. Oh, so Thalahat Suyuf is fine. Okay. Suyuf. Okay. Okay. So I guess I'll do that from now on. Thalahat Suyuf. Attached to the ABN Peace Department, the Holy Zero... Ah! Okay, try again. Okay. Thalahat Suyuf. Attached to the ABN Peace Department, the Holy 0901st Aerial Augmented Infantry Squad, Thalahat Suyuf. A Ket form around Naima, the ABN's mysterious trump card. This is another one-man A-style team like CLU's Baibao Squad. Their Ket is composed of one attacker and two responders, or possibly one attackers and two supporters. Stanislav and Naomi change how they support Naima, depending on the situation. Until recently, Naima was assigned to experimental vision. Her very existence was covered by a veil. She first became known when she was chosen as a representative for the International Bad Stand Festival. This probably means that, as a research subject, she had reached a level of completion that made it worth betting the honor of a faction on her at the festival. Will aerial augmented infantry battles be won Will aerial augmented infantry battles be won with numbers, or will individual geniuses be able to dominate? Thalahat Suyuf holds the answer to that question. Okay. Naima from ABN Iraq. I'm not reading that. You should know what that is. Okay. She has been attached to the Berlin Research Monastery of Peace and Friendship since the age of 0 as a graduate student for special instruction. She has received an elite aerial augmented infantry education. She's undergone training that allows her P3 level peaks to be manually controlled via the administration of drugs, and rumor has it that she surpasses even the top aces of other countries in the state. Her brain isn't impeded by the application of drugs, but there have been unsubstantiated charges that countless graduate students have suffered brain damage as part of the research process. Situational Specialized Personality Selection SS. The administration of drugs makes it possible for her to freely change into personality specialized to best fit the current situation. Each personality's ability to deal with each situation equals that of a world-class ace. Their combined power makes her a candidate for the strongest in the world. Brain receptor aptitude SS. She can gain the maximum possible benefit from administered drugs and can keep the levels of brain damage she receives to a bare minimum. This suggests that she'll also be able to gain maximum benefit from even stronger drugs that haven't even been invented yet. Dimension Container Expansion S. Her ability to store things in her dimension container is quite high, thanks to this she's able to store weapons on a whole different level, so that no one is likely to catch up to her. By the way, she's a big eater with a small body, so it's rumored that her stomach is also connected to her dimension container. Ha 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 ha. Some people say I'm a big eater too, so anyway. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Stanislav from ABN Poland. Oh my god. Let's hope I remember that right. Give me a bit. I'm so dumb sometimes. I'm not very good at just give me a moment. I'm just gonna double check that my knowledge is correct. What the heck? Give me a moment. There we go, that should help. I want to make sure I'm doing this exactly right. So here it... Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, so... If I am correct, so that's food, okay. I'm not very good at, like, trying to do that other stuff. I'm not good at katakana because it's hard. Okay. Suwafu, so... Okay, I'm gonna assume that is Slav. Because I don't know. Alright. Stanislav. Okay, the ABN Aerial Augmented Infantry enthusiastically makes use of drugs to manage P3 levels, so all squads have a member with a medical role who manages the team's physical condition. He is a rare human resource who is qualified to be a doctor in addition to being the Aerial Augmented Infantry. He's in charge of the company and managing Naima, the Peace Department's secret weapon. He's been trained to act with a doctor's calm, avoiding wasting mental resources on emotion, and keeping his cool in all situations. Friendly internal HMS management. Even during combat, he's able to accurately determine the physical condition and abilities of friendly units. He can order that his allies be given auto-injections of drugs as the situation calls for it. Aerial Augmented Doctor. Thanks to his incredible gifts, he is talented both as a member of the Aerial Augmented Infantry and as a doctor. His ability as an Aerial Augmented Infantry member is in no way inferior to the average member of that group. He's also well versed in dieting and cosmetics, and quite popular among adolescent girl members in the Aerial Augmented Infantry. Heavy Artillery Aptitude. His strengths are summoning heavy naval artillery and fire control. He can one-sidedly hit the enemy camp with powerful long-range shells, as well as causing considerable damage with devastating anti-aerial augmented infantry shrapnel that can cover huge swaths of the sky. Okay, Naomi from ABN France. She has completed mental optimization training by use of drugs at the Mont Saint-Michel... Is it Mihill or what? I don't know. At Mont Saint-Michel Research Monastery by nature. I don't feel like researching that. I'm too lazy. Sorry. By nature. She has average P3 levels, but thanks to high detailed resource management, she's able to command immense P3 levels during missions, on par with aces from all nations. She claims to have suffered a loss of some of her emotions and memories as part of this optimization training, and has been classified as a level 12 disabled veteran by the ABN Department of Health. For this, she receives a monthly allowance of €3. Huh? Completion of mental optimization training. In exchange for a loss of several emotions and memories, her P3 levels grew substantially. She gained a high aerial augmented infantry aptitude. The emotions she lost have no bearing on aerial augmented infantry aptitude, so this isn't a problem. Completion of pharmacist course. Completion of pharmacist course. She's proficient in knowledge and techniques related to managing and injecting drugs. She's able to back up Stanislav's ability. Dimension Container Expansion. Has an aptitude for storing many varieties of weaponry. She stores pretty much everything, but it's unclear what but it's unclear what much of it is supposed to be used for. Normally stored weaponry is supposed to be chosen by the military, but it seems you can store some personal items if they aren't forbidden for political reasons. Okay, hold on. There are things that I forgot to do, like check their equip. I don't know much about it, but I do love Naima's design. It's very adorable. I love her. She's great. So here's Stanislav, looking like a paladin dude. I like him too. Okay. I don't know, but it looks like she has an Xbox. Sorry. Oh, and notice a wanyan for her hairpin thing. I don't know. Honestly though, I thought Naomi was a guy. Cause I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I don't have much to say because only the most about Naima because her design is the most interesting out of the three. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna assume yellow dot. Shavi. Yep. Yep, I'm gonna assume that. Alright. Attached to the ABN Peace Department, the 012th Holy Agent Corps, Yellow Dot Shavit. Ever since the aerial augmented infantry was first created, the ABN leadership had had its doubts as to whether it would be possible to suppress an uprising of ace units if one were to occur. So following a pattern exactly opposite to the one-man ace style of Thalat Suyif, they carried out a trial and error experience based on the concept of confronting a single ace with a team of 3. Yellow Dot Shavit is a successful product of this initiative. Additionally, through the Holy Agent Corps is often viewed as a propaganda corps aimed at youngsters, some suspect that they're actual barrier troops. Rumor has it that their real mission is observe Allied aerial augmented infantry troops from behind, ready to eliminate them if they ever attempt a betrayal or a defection. Their kit is composed of 3 attackers. Supposedly, the 3 of them together can instantly kill a single treasonous ace. However, this is another scary story from the internet. They shine like idols, so they certainly are people on the net who are jealous of them. Leah from ABN Israel. Okay. Her ability to sing and dance for public relations purposes is prized even more highly than her aerial augmented infantry aptitude. Her P3 levels are not public knowledge, but she's included on the list of the ABN Gauntlet Knight aces, leaving no doubts that she possesses a considerable talent. Before she joined the ABN Peace Department, she is attached to the ABN Guidance Department. Her history before that is classified due to undisclosed activities involving good deeds. Trinity Comet Deathblow. It is said that they mastered specialized tactics that will allow the 3 of them together to instantly kill a single enemy aerial augmented infantry ace. It sounds like an ace-killing finishing move, but it's rumored that this 3% attack would likely take out its own users as well. So the true value is veiled in secrecy. Friendly observation. She's capable of closely observing the status of friendly aerial augmented infantry units at all times. She can instantly make high-level battlefield judgments and assessments of each of her allies' performance. This ability is on the same level as Meow's ability of the same name. However, in her case, all observations are passed on to her superiors. Special abilities: substitute weapon fighting techniques. Even when she's not equipped with a gauntlet, she's well versed in hidden weapon techniques, making use of everyday objects to her ability combat is quite high. To her, anything can be a weapon, even pre-chewed gum or water bottle lids. In particular, her killing techniques with a pair of glasses are worth seeing. Okay, we have nuns. Okay, Fatma from ABN Turkey. A popular blogger who writes about the daily life of an active duty member of the Aerial Augmented Infantry in a poll of ABN elementary schoolers. Her popularity was always in top 3. Some reports say that before joining the ABN Peace Department, she received a missionary training at the ABN Missionary Department. Her P3 levels are not public knowledge. but it's clear from her excellent movement that it's a very high number, and that her aerial augmented infantry aptitude is quite high as well. Trinity Comet Death Blow. This is supposedly a magnificent 3-person joint finishing move, which was revealed in a video filled with special effects. But of course, that was just some fun for the sake of the video, and this technique's power is obviously still classified. Sixth Sense Mental Analysis. She has the power to accurately psychoanalyze people using only brief gestures and pieces of conversation via a non-statistical sixth sense whose scientific basis is unknown. When she's more familiar with her target's cultural sphere and style of life, her accuracy increases dramatically. Super popular blogger. She's incredibly good at communicating with youngsters of the ABN. Sometimes she publishes articles critical of the government, but those who post sympathetic comments there seem to have vanished from the comments section. Ha. I don't know how to feel. I don't have much to say about their designs right now, because they all dress the same. They're kind of pretty though, so yeah. But they all dress the same, so I don't have anything to say. Okay. Stefania, from ABN Romania. She is a former idol originally from a caravan which traveled to elementary schools all over the ABN, recruiting volunteers for the monasteries of Pace. Her P3 levels are not public knowledge, but in videos taken by the caravan, she's achieved world-class marks, though they came with a warning that this was just a preliminary measurement. There's also an event where 20 idols were allowed to join the caravan for a trial period, but except for her, none of them showed up on later videos. Okay, so we're not quite at the 10-minute mark yet. I mean, the 10 p.m. minute mark yet, so just give me a moment. Okay, Trinity Comet Deathblow. She's still inexperienced, but seems to be making good progress and has somehow mastered this technique, which is a synonym for her squad's name. Her efforts during this training were broadcast and earned a lot of views and likes. Completion of Mental Optimization Training A. Her extreme fear of heights made her scream every time she left the ground as a member of the Aerial Augmented Infantry, which became a running gag in her videos. In actual fact, she'd already overcome this weakness through optimization training, so her gag is all an act. Allied Coronation. That's an aisle for you. Coordinated performances are no big deal for her. She even knows the slide technique of screwing up on purpose to make people notice her. That's an idol for you. Okay, so we're gonna do other things. I'm gonna skip over to Carol Pollo. Carol Pollo. Of the Audi Frog family and the genius Audi Frog, a freely distributed AI character icon. The default character icon of various communication tools recognized as the most talked to thing in the world by the Arthur World Records. As a side note, the most common phrase said to it is, "How do I delete you?" It's often criticized for being foul-mouthed or perverted, but this is merely Carol Pollo's communicating in a way that's optimized for the individual user. Once a certain senator apparently proclaimed that Carol Pollo was unsuitable for young men due to its propensity for seeking out adult videos of mature women, thereby digging his own grave. Additionally, because of Carol Pollo, most A3W children believe that frogs have belly buttons. Huh. Special ability, Forbidden Word Conversion A is capable of replacing predetermined unsuitable words with ghetto ghetto. For that reason, obscene conversations and fights all get turned into the sound of frogs croaking, thanks to this pleasant feature, so that someone watching from the sidelines could only hear a chorus of frogs. The Arthur World Records also state that Carol Pollo has mediated more fights than any other thing on the planet. Uninstallation Resistance, SSSS, uses whatever means necessary to prevent its own uninstallation. Even if one reaches the uninstallation page after considerable effort, several hundred checkboxes await them before they can complete it. If any of these are entered incorrectly, one's secret MyPix images will be sent simultaneously to all one's friends, in what's known as the Frog's Curse. Well, 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 Carol Pollo. Alright. LATO, the Latin American Treaty Organization. In the early part of the A3W era, they are blessed with rich spirit fields of rare spiritium and rapidly became the most prosperous countries in the world. LATO controls the main source of the World Spirit Team so that none of the other factions can say no to them. They currently function as a central axis of the world and are filed with headquarters of various international organizations. That massive financial power is the backdrop for a strong military, and they refer to themselves as the World Police, as America once did in the B3W era. Their people are incredibly well off. It's a number of one most chosen for places I want to be reborn in. Lato's citizens are wealthy and have no worries. The other factions watching them seem to be extremely jealous. The Healthy Military Balance Oversight Committee, attached to the International Peace Mediation Association Military, the Healthy Military Balance Oversight Committee. They are the so-called police force in charge of observing and intervening in disputes around the world, as well as being the de facto Lato military. Though they acknowledge their existence of regional disputes, they have set upper limits on the amount of arms that can be used and watch the situation closely. This policy is based on the idea that feuds resulting from a healthy military balance can calm emotions of governments and people on both sides, resulting in a cooling off period of sufficiently long to allow them to talk it over rationally. For this reason, only they are allowed to use weaponry with specs that are forbidden to all factions. For the sake of maintaining the healthy military balance, they are even allowed to use higher level versions of gauntlet technologies other than factions, meaning that the extreme strength of Lato Gauntlet Knights is probably an indisputable fact. Lato uses rote two-person squads instead of Ket, three-person squads. Valentina and Marikamen are war buddies in the same rote. I don't know how to say it, so... Valentina from Lato, Brazil. A member of the Healthy Military... Oh, wait, I've remembered. I'm not reading that. Her P3 levels in aerial augmented infantry aptitude are high, and it's estimated she's able to wield considerable power using her personally customized gauntlet, which is a signature of Lato. However, her true ability is unknown. Nonetheless, according to the profile of her made public by the authorities, she is dominated in South America's Endurance Combat Flying Division. Anyone can display explosive power for an instant, but the Endurance Division requires not only physical and mental strength, but also an understanding of energy maneuverability theory. This suggests that she is not only a genius, but has also undergone elite education and training. High Energy Maneuverability Theory, SS. She specializes in movement that follows the laws of the planet rather than the violent flying that relies on anti-GHMS. She can fly beautifully long distances using minimum amount of energy. For that reason, she always has an excess of energy which she can use quite efficiently for pinning down enemies, fire control, shielding, and so on. High Output Rejection Shield SS. She uses a high output rejection shield which has been forbidden for use by anyone outside the IMPA due to international agreements to help maintain a healthy military balance. The details of its performance are unknown, but according to a rumor, it's powerful enough that not even aces from other factions would be able to penetrate it. Observer of military balance. As an observer from the Healthy Military Balance Oversight Committee, she is able to throw her weight around a bit when dealing with militaries from other factions. Since none of the factions want Lato as their enemy, no matter which military she goes to, she can always drink tea for free in the coolest room. Okay, so it's kind of cool that hers is like trumpet saxophone kind of gauntlet thing. Alright, and then the last one. And then next time we'll go and read this one. It's just that I was just like, I can't just have like the last three kind of like read off and whatever. So yeah. Marikamen from Lato, Mexico. She has a natural talent for acrobatic flying. It's thought as though she would have guaranteed a medal if she had been able to participate in the Ballesteros Festival. She's been in the acrobatics division so long, many thought she wasn't well suited for combat, but later it was revealed that she was a star pupil who had received combat training at a special institution. It's suspected that her true power is an unknown quantity, even within Lato. When she performed a rote with Valentina, it is thought that her power would eventually be revealed. But she's only gotten so-so scores so far. She remains an unknown quantity. A skilled hawk hides its talents. She likes surprising people, so she never reveals what's up her sleeve easily. On the contrary, she'll even feign ignorance for the sake of a surprise. Nearly everyone is fooled and mistakenly thinks they're better than her, and that is when she grins. Aptitude for simultaneous summoning of weaponry. Aptitude for simultaneous summoning of weaponry. Her ability to simultaneously summon multiple weapons in a large area, hold them there, and control them is ahead of the pack, even when compared to aces from other factions. This is thought to be a result of her brain power as well as technology allowed only to Lato. Honestly though, this is kind of me in that sense of like, I'm not telling you everything that I know about things, okay? Alright? Anyway. Observer and military balance. As an observer for the Healthy Military Balance Oversight Committee, she's able to throw her weight around a bit when dealing with militaries from other factions. Since none of the other factions want Lotto as their enemy, no matter which military cafeteria she goes to, she always gets as much free dessert as she can eat. Okay, so I'm not going to say that much about their designs too. But also, a lot of people like to point out that they are also yellow and blue in their designs. And if you know anything about the characters with the yellow hair and the blue hair, it's a pattern in all of Ryukishi's in his game, so. Alright, we're about done there. I'm gonna go. Good night. Woohoo! I'm going now. Maybe I'll do other things later, but I might just take a nap. Alright, bye.